Yo, what's good with y'all? Keymajor back with another video for y'all today. Today we got another dark sample tutorial. This time we got some dark vintage synth type of stuff like wright or Mike Dean for Travis Scott. Hey, you guys already heard that preview in the beginning, so let's get straight to it. So for this sample, I really went heavy on the effects. The sounds that I used are not too crazy. I went more crazy on the effects when I'm showing you guys all the processing and how to replicate that same sound. For the first sound, even though it sounds nothing like it, I used a piano and I used keyscape, and then I played down this very simple melody. So this sample is pretty quick. I have the BPM at 176 up here. I first started with this basic chord. So I started with this chord, and then I took the G sharp, which is the bass note, the root note of the sample, and I copied it down an octave. I took this A sharp and D sharp both up an octave. This is basically just layering, making the chord sound a lot more full. This obviously sounds a lot better than the first one I played. After that, this is the main chord. I just added another chord in between, which all I did is I took most of them up a half step, except this one right here. I used this F sharp, and this was the main foundation for the whole sample. All I did at the end is these notes that are highlighted red, I copied them in between, acting as like a top melody. And then for the second half, I just copied the exact same notes over. I just took out that top melody that I had in between. Copied this over for the whole sample. I did Alt-R to randomize the velocity and just to give it that realistic humanized feel. The main effect was this growth speed, and I added this little automation. I clicked in myself. It's a lot going on. I just kind of threw it all in here. And then lastly, I just added this little automation for the volume. After that, everything else was pretty simple. Just a regular halftime. I added this effectrix, having these two little reverse. I added this thermal, and I used the step grit preset. This really added a lot to the sound, and it gave it that grit distortion sound, but also gave it this automation and movement to it, and it just really brought the whole sound to life. Lastly, just a little bit of reverb, and then just this EQ cutting out all the lows. And yeah, now it sounds completely different. It sounds nothing like the original piano. So that was the main melody for the sample, and now I'm just building on top. I went to this kit and I picked this one shot right here. And it's just like this really gritty analog chord playing. What I added to give it a lot more movement was the effects. Like I said, this whole sample has a lot of effects on it. So I first started with fragments, and I used this preset right here. This just really chopped it up. Thermal, I used that same preset I showed earlier. And then lastly, the same effectrix. And then down here, I messed with the EQ, and then I panned the original melody to the left and then this new one to the right, so I could give them some space. After that, I layered some more. I opened up Omnisphere, and I used this preset right here, and I just copied the exact same notes. So for the atmosphere, like I said, I laid down the exact same notes. As far as the effects, I have this halftime on here, just regular halftime, and then lastly just this pancake, giving it some more movement. For the effects, I have another pretty complex effects chain on here. I first started with fragments again, and I selected this preset right here. Thermal again with this preset right here. This gave it a lot more distortion, some rhythm. Effectrix with this little preset I made. Got a little bit of reverse, some reverb, and a little bit of delay. And then lastly, just this pancake, giving it some more movement, and then this growth speed, giving it this little automation, controlling the volume. Panned it a little bit to the right, and then I messed with the EQ down here, taking out the lows and raising up the highs. Now it blends in with the sample more, has that real glitchy synth analog type of sound to it, which is the whole theme of this whole sample. Before I can go in depth with the bass, if you guys want a lot of these type of sounds, real analog hardware type of instruments, I just dropped my new kit, Coding Files Volume 3. It comes with an analog lab bank, some drums, looped one-shots, phrases, and samples. The analog lab bank features 50 presets around that same analog hardware type of sound, as well as the looped one-shots. The kit is currently 50% off. It'll be the first thing in the description down below, but it's limited time only, so act quick. And if you're not too sure about copying, it's completely fine. We have a demo version which is completely free. You guys can test out as well. But getting back to the video for the bass, the effects I had on here was just a regular decapitator with this preset to give us some crunch, some distortion, and then just raising the highs. That's pretty much it for the main sample. After that, I just added a little texture. The texture comes from this kit right here by AYN, and this main synth one comes from this kit right here. And the last one comes from this kit right here by Rio Leva. As far as this little run, I just threw it on, put it up an octave, put it on key. And then for the second one, I just made it unique and I changed the pitch. As far as the effects for the first one, I added this little ambience reverb, some pancake, giving it some movement very quickly. And then just this compressor, compressing it a little bit. And then lastly, EQ. Then I EQ'd it again down here. Lastly, I just added this other phrase, which is basically a very long recording of a bunch of runs and accents and phrases played on a Prophet. I just went through it, chopped up the part I like, and just had these very two simple notes or chords playing. For the effects, I just had a little bit of ambience reverb and then just this ozone imager, making it a lot more mono. But both of these sounds just matched and blended well with that analog, vintage, dirty type of sound I was going for. And I just had a very simple arrangement for the sample. As far as the master, I pitched up the sample by 2. I had this EQ raising the highs and the lows, and then I exported that, and this is the final sample. But that's pretty much it for the sample. Hope you guys are enjoying this something new. Like I said, if you guys want a lot of sounds in this style, Coding Files Volume 3 just dropped with me and Keyon. 50 presets for an analog lab bank, over 100 looped one-shots, almost 200 drums, and we got 40 phrases you guys are just drag and drop, and then 15 samples for you guys to use. Like I said, limited time only. It's on sale. It'll be the first thing to switch down below. Also, a demo on my website if you guys want to test it out. But with that being said, if you guys did enjoy and there's something new, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any more videos. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.